welcome to this episode of Behind the Wrestler for Season 3. My guest at this time is none other than the man himself, the humble one half of SAS, Will Stone. Thank you very much for giving us a backstory of yourself.
Backstory of myself. Just quickly on that, one half of SAS, the worst half of SAS.
Okay. So first question, which you're probably going to get asked a million times in your career. Who, when and where inspired you to become a professional wrestler?
It's weird, like I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling when I was a kid. Like I didn't have a lot of exposure to it. It would have been like 99, 2000. I was like 5-6 years old, real sick as a kid. And I was in the sick bay, and I saw this little book. It was about, big. Pick it up and it's like a comic book. And I think I open it up. And the very first page I open up to is NWO Wolfpack Sting. And it's just the red and black face paint, you know, and it's like, oh, this dude's Jack, this guy's awesome. Yeah. I was watching the anime that comes on when you're a kid, Dragon Ball Z, those things, and you just see like these super buff dudes, they're all like superheroes. Yeah. And I was like, this guy's a superhero, so this is really cool. And then I didn't watch any wrestling for like 6 years. And then there was that weird like DX reunion. Yeah. Where they had like the cartoon t-shirts and it was like PGDX.
Yeah.
I saw like a knockoff t-shirt at one point, like at the Frankton Markets in Hamilton. And then nothing again. And then I vividly remember Big Show choke slamming John Cena through a stage.
Right.
Like through a light on the stage.
Oh yeah, that would have been Backlash.
And then I was like, cool. Mum turned it off, not allowed to watch that anymore. And then I just got back into it in like 2014. Daniel Bryan had just won the belt. And I started watching with my flat. And then I just got super into it. Just loved it. They all kind of stopped watching it, but I kept watching it for a couple of years. And it's a really weird kind of all-around sort of dips and valleys, you know, peaks and goes up. But no, I was just Sting from back then. I'm always going to remember that Wolfpack Sting.
Nice. And you know, watching it, and then when did you decide to be like, I actually want to do this for myself?
It's weird. I've had like 2 of those moments. Like the first one was I moved to Auckland from Hamilton in 2016, and I spent a year just working. And I didn't know a lot of people in Auckland, but I was still watching wrestling. I was still following wrestling and doing all of that. I had no idea that there was any wrestling in New Zealand. No clue whatsoever. It was probably like December of 2016, where I see on my Facebook like an ad for IPW tryouts. I was like, oh, that looks fun. I might give that a go. That could work. And I responded to the ad, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty keen to give this a go. Messaged the Facebook group and did all that sort of junk. And yeah, they got back to me and said, come along to this. This is your fee. I just went along. That was my first kind of moment where I was like, I want to try be a wrestler. And my goal the whole way was, I just want to have one match. I just want to be a jobber. I want to have one match. I want to get my ass kicked. And that's going to be me.
Yeah.
And it was maybe like middle of last year, after I'd had maybe 30 matches in the year, and I was like, this is like, I love this. I really, really love doing this. And I kind of thought like I could maybe do something with this. You know, I could do more than just be that one match jobber. I can do more than just nothing, I guess. Yeah. Like I could actually try and achieve something and try and chase that dream a little bit.
Right.
And so that was kind of my second moment of like, this is something I really want to do. This is something I love. And just like driving in the car with the guys, and you know, you're with all your mates. You know, there's such this close group of people, and it just all kind of clicks together.
And you know, you mentioned you went to the IPW tryouts. Stepping in to your, you know, officially stepping into a wrestling ring, and doing your first day of training. What was the thought process, and what did you take away from that day? And obviously you would have been extremely sore the next day.
I was extremely sore for the next week.
Yeah.
My leg wouldn't bend past here.
Yeah.
I'm crying in bed like this, in a fetal position. And I left that day, I got home. I felt fine, you know, on that like endorphin rush after working out. It was the Sunday where I felt awful. And I remember I was like crying in the shower, rubbing lavender oil into my thighs, trying to get to bend under the hot water, and I've got like a deep heat and I'm doing all of this.
Yeah.
Finally managed to extend my leg, and I got to do the other one, And as I'm doing that, it slowly starts coming back. And it's just, I couldn't walk. No, I mean, I hated it, I honestly hated it.
Fair enough.
Like, just the conditioning and how hard it was. Like, I had no idea
Yeah.
it was going to be as hard as it was. To go from next to no physical activity or exercise for 8 months
Mhm.
to a wrestling tryout. And you know the tryouts are pretty intense, right?
Yes,
Like
yeah.
they push the tryout to be a little bit harder than just like a normal training. Because
yeah.
you want to kind of see who really wants it and
Yeah.
who's just there kind of like for a gag, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I hated it, but again, I loved it. You know, I loved just being in that environment. As soon as I hit the ropes for the first time, where I took a bump, I was like, man, this is tough, but this is great.
Yeah.
You know, just get that rush, and it'll just kind of snowball from there.
Nice. And you know, once you got your couple of trainings underneath your belt, and obviously achieving your first goal that you set out was just one match, that one match. Finding out about that very first match that you're about to have, what was the thought process? How did you prepare for it? And you're like, this is that one goal that I wanted to do, and now I'm about to achieve it.
Yeah, I mean that was terrifying,
Right.
being told I'm having a match. It was against Brooke Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the middle of his second reign as New Zealand heavyweight champion. His first one was like 4 minutes, right? So
Yeah.
it's technically second.
Yeah, technically second.
But I was like I met him a couple of times, Brock, and I felt like I was friendly with him, and I was just so relieved to have someone so experienced and so good that I could step in the ring with. But I was still terrified, and my preparation for it the week before was going over my match over and over and over and over again in my head, and you know, going to the gym as much as I could and trying to work out. I can't sleep at night. I'm watching Daredevil and I'm doing squats at home trying to get myself ready for this.
Nice.
I did something that I don't do anymore, and I wrote down the whole match.
Mm-hmm.
And I took notes the whole way, and I'm like, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I got my mum to come up, and my girlfriend at the time, and my sister. My family was there to support me.
Mm-hmm.
I got everything I needed. I had my gimmick coffee cup that I went and ordered. I did everything I thought that I needed to do to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still terrified. And it was just, whoa, just the worst feeling in the world. And then you walk out through the curtain, you see that audience staring at you, and you're like, this is my music playing. And you hear someone in the ring announce your name, and you're like, that person just said my name.
Yeah.
These people are looking at me, and just the nerves just kind of wash away.
Yeah.
You just get that rush and that euphoria of being in front of the crowd again.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing feeling.
And you know, going away from that first match and having a couple of matches underneath your belt, and developing your character and as yourself as a wrestler more, and getting your foot in, and finding a place. How did going from just wrestling to being eventually part of being and forming SAS?
That was funny because my very first match I had was against Brooke Duncan
Mm-hmm.
for IPW, one of our student shows, singles match.
Mm-hmm.
My second match I ever had was at a C3 charity event, and then my third match was a C3 charity event. My fourth match I ever had, and the first match I ever had on like a proper show,
Mm-hmm.
where like it's been advertised for a company, people are coming to see particular wrestlers,
Mm-hmm.
and see particular matches. I just came along because Charlie Roberts said, you know, come along, we'll see if there's something there for you.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex Savage was there, my tag team partner from SAS. I've been wearing the shirt, but it's in the wash. He was there, and he obviously wears the black and silver gear.
Right.
And I also had black and silver gear.
Uh-huh.
It was like, it's like the Spider-Man meme where you're looking at each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Except he's way bigger than me and he's got mean mutton chops.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you guys, I'll put you guys in a tag. Just thrown together out of nowhere.
Oh, nice.
That we were just a tag. And then a year later, we were challenging for New Zealand Heavyweight New Zealand Tag Team Championships at night before Christmas.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what? It's two guys that were just kind of thrown together.
Yeah.
And now we're one of the top tag teams in New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you mentioned competing and getting the opportunity to compete for the IPW New Zealand Tag Team Championships. Obviously, I was at that show, and unfortunately, you guys didn't win yet, but
Yeah.
soon to be. What was the thought process, and you know, putting in the hours and putting in those bumps and putting in the time at the gym for eventually to get this opportunity at the bigger show for IPW. What was the thought process of we were just tag team to now we're one of the top tag teams in New Zealand?
We just put the work in.
Right.
That was the biggest thing for us. We trained together as often as we could. It wasn't as often maybe as it could have been sometimes, but whenever we were both free, we'd both be at training, we'd be working on things, getting that chemistry, and working together. I think the thing that helped us the most was just ring time. Was both realising that we want to be on as many shows as we can, we want to wrestle as many places as we can. And any time we're at the same show, we'd be there as a tag team, be there as SAS. And if you look at where we were at the start of the year, wrestling for PWE against not Falcon Good, that was Flying Kiwi and Liam Fury, that match, versus where we were 8 months later,
Right.
again for PWE, but against Charlie Roberts and Magnum, like the match quality was like this, because we learned how to work to our strengths. We put that time in together. We went to the gym, we work out every now and again, we talk, we plan things, but it was just spending that time together was the biggest thing for us.
Right. And getting to, obviously you guys travel up and down the road, wrestling up and down the road, and eventually getting a spot down at SPW. Again, those guys do some amazing work down there, and they got amazing talent down there, and it's one of the hardest shows to get on because of the level of performance that they do. Earning a spot there and getting the opportunity to go down to SPW, what was the, again, what did you take away from it? What did you learn? What was the thought process and that whole experience?
Yeah, I decided at the end of last year that I really wanted to focus on wrestling as much as I could this year. In 2019, it's 2019, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Everything kind of blurs together. I really wanted to do everything I could this year, so I set my goals. So I wanted to have 50 matches this year.
Right.
So I had 47 last year.
Nice.
It's 3 away in my rookie year.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to hit that 50.
Hit that 50 mark.
50 matches, wrestle for every company that I can, and every company in the country if possible.
Right.
So I'm heading down to Asylum later this year. So we've got SPW in a couple of weeks when we're filming this. Wrestled for Hughes Academy the first time this year, which was amazing. Had a great time.
Yeah.
Looking forward to heading back. Wrestled for Maniacs, IPW, hopefully CPW later on in the year, and PWE in April when I get an opportunity. But SPW was like that was one of my stretch goals.
Right.
And I went down there for the January fight nights, the Jimmy Havoc fight nights, because I really wanted to go down there and meet them all in their house, show them that respect and say, I really want to be involved in this and see sort of their whole vibe and how they went their shows. And I met the guys, met the whole crew, met all the wrestlers, shook everyone's hand, helped out everywhere that I could, and just said, then look, I really want an opportunity. How can I get an opportunity to come and be on one of these shows? And all I expected them to do was say, cool, well, we've got a fight night's coming up in 6 months or 4 months or whatever, we'll flick your message when that comes up, and I'll come down, do the fight nights, and I'll fly back up. And out of the blue I got a message saying, hey, would you want to work our Queenstown show? I was like, oh. Yes! Of course, yes! Yeah. I immediately booked my flights and got all of that sorted, but it was just such an amazing feeling knowing that the work that you've put in over, like you said, going to the gym, having those matches, travelling up and down the country, being respectful everywhere I can be, paying those dues as everyone says. Knowing that it's starting to pay off a little bit, and people are kind of recognising that I've put that hard work in, which is something that I feel really blessed and very thankful for, that I'm in this position to be able to have these opportunities.
And you also mentioned you had your debut for Hughes Academy, which was, one of your goals for this year.
Yes, it was.
And getting the opportunity to debut for Hughes Academy and getting the opportunity to get the okay from Graham Hughes to be like, hey, I want to give you a chance. What was what did you take away from it? What did you learn from it? And what was the thought process of getting that message from him, be like, hey, I got a spot for you. Do you want to take it?
Yeah, I was really happy to get that, honestly. I got in a bit of trouble with Graham last year. There's some dumb things that I did. And I was really disappointed with myself that I did that. and I didn't kind of think ahead and think what's the impression this going to give to people. You know, I made a dumb decision, and it bit me in the ass basically.
Right.
And to get that message from Graham and get that okay, like you said, and to know that I've worked my way back, to him realizing that, well, not realizing I guess, but working back to him feeling comfortable with putting me on one of his shows and giving me that opportunity again, like I always say, like all I ever want is an opportunity, and then it's up to me whether I take it or not.
Yeah.
But all I ever asked for was an opportunity, and I was again really thankful for Graham to give me that opportunity against Danny Martins.
Right.
I think we had a really good match. I had a good time.
Yeah.
It was fun. I can't wait to come back, to be honest.
You know, wrestling Daniel Martins. Obviously, it was a debut for Hughes Academy, and getting to wrestle with a former Hughes Academy champion, a veteran pretty much.
Been around a long time.
Yeah, he has. You know, he's been there from the KPW days.
Yeah.
And you know, if people don't know who
Take it
KPW are, Google it.
Put in that machine.
Yeah, and you know, he's put the time and the effort, and to get to where he is, you know, he's worked his ass off.
Yes.
Getting the opportunity to wrestle him, and you know, as your first Hughes Academy match, what was the things that you learned from that match, and what were the things you took away from that match?
Oh man, the biggest thing I learned is that he's a cut above. You know, wrestling those older guys, those guys who have been around for such a long time, they've got so much knowledge.
Right.
I'm really lucky to get the opportunities I have. Only 1, 2. I mean, this is my 3rd year in the business. It was my first year wrestling consistently last year, and I know how lucky I am to have so many different places to wrestle, so many different opponents to learn from. And I learned a lot from him. You know, he told me all the things that everyone else tells me. I got to slow it down, take your time, do these things. But being in the ring with him was just amazing. He's clean as anything. I loved it.
And he does love his spine buster spots.
Does oh man. I don't. But he does.
He does. He definitely does. You know, moving on from Daniel Martins to the youngest Hughes Academy champion and the youngest champion ever. Spencer Kyle. Getting the opportunity to wrestle him for Maniacs United.
Yeah, last night.
And getting the opportunity to start the storyline and process per se, and getting the opportunity to wrestle someone who's kind of in the same
boat as me.
Yeah, same boat as you, right?
In our careers,
yeah.
right?
And you know, what was the things that you guys learnt from each other, and what was the things that you guys took away, and getting the if getting the opportunity again, would you would accept to be his opponent?
I'd love to be using her again.
Yeah.
I had a great time at the ring with Spence. Took the big L.
Yeah.
That's
the big L.
No, I had a great time. I really enjoyed the opportunity to get in there with someone who's a bit younger than me. And I felt like I really took charge in that match. Yeah, it's a collaborative effort, right? Like everyone works together, but there's always going to be that one person. You can't have a waltz of 2 people who are trying to lead, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Someone's always going to have to take that step up.
Yeah.
And I thought, again, opportunity. There was a really good opportunity for me to step into that position, which I haven't really had to do before.
Right.
Because I'm so new and I'm still so young in the business. But I had a great time wrestling him. Again, smooth, clean, everything felt great.
Yeah.
Put me on the top of my head before I took that big L. But no, it was amazing. And if I get the opportunity again, Spencer, I'll knock you out next time.
From the opponents that you've wrestled so far in the short amount of time that you've been in the business, and the level that you're getting at in the short amount of time is because you're putting in the hard work, you're putting in the time, you're putting in the effort, and obviously being humble, being respectful goes a long, long way in the business. Because that's what the business is built on, is respect and honesty. And getting the opportunities that you have gotten so far, what is your favorite match so far that you've had, and your favorite opponent you've got to wrestle so far?
My favorite match that I've had so far would be that tag team match for PWE.
Right.
It was me and Alex Savage, SAS,
Mm-hmm.
for the PWE tag team no more contention
Mm-hmm.
against Charlie Roberts and Magnum.
Mm-hmm.
We went out there with 15 minutes, and we just bet the hell out of each other.
Right.
It was a really fun match. I think it was our best match that we had last year as a tag team,
Mm.
personally. It was hard hitting, and my favourite opponent was in that match was Charlie Roberts.
Right.
So I love getting in the ring with that guy.
Yeah.
I love it. He's taught me so much.
Mm.
He was one of my biggest mentors last year. I would travel the road with him, going up and down the country. And he taught me so much, not only like in terms of being in the ring, but also how to present yourself out of the ring, which, like we've said already, is such an important part
Yes.
of wrestling, especially in such a small scene like New Zealand.
Yeah.
You do one thing over here, and it's like throwing a stone into a pond. It's going to ripple across everything.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to hear about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So he'd definitely be my favourite opponent. I'm hoping to get him one-on-one at some point this year somewhere. So everyone listening,
Yeah.
book that match. And you know, that tag team match was definitely my favourite match from last year, and I'd say my favourite match so far as well.
Nice. And you know, you mentioned your favourite opponent, Charlie Roberts, as your mentor as well. He is the bar, and he is the man. If you want to make a name for yourself, Charlie Roberts is the guy you have to go up against.
He's the guy.
If you can go toe to toe with him, you can go toe to toe with anyone.
It's pretty hard. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and with, you know, only getting a glimpse of opportunities to wrestle him, and again, like you said, you haven't had the opportunity to wrestle him one-on-one, but the opportunities you've had to wrestle him so far, what's the most important things you've learnt getting to wrestle your mentor, who's, you know, taken you under his wing and is guiding you?
Massive,
That
huge,
big, massive
huge
wing that he's got.
from his lat pulled down.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And obviously, you know, getting to train with him and it's, you know, leg there, Rob sucks.
Any day Rob sucks. The biggest thing that he's taught me this whole time, especially in the ring, is just to slow it down.
Right.
I don't know if it comes across at all over this, but I'm a very awkward, nervous person in my day-to-day life. Right? I get in the ring and I'm fine, you know, 'cause I'm Will Stone, I'm out there.
Yeah.
But you know, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, I feel like I'm quite an awkward, nervous person.
Fair enough.
And when I get nervous, I start talking fast. I start doing things a little bit quicker because I just want to get out of there. I want to get that situation over.
Mm.
And as soon as I start getting nervous in the ring, or I get a little bit flustered, I start to do that as well.
Mm.
I start to kind of pick my pace up a little bit. And because I'm picking my pace up a little bit, things can kind of break down sometimes.
Right.
And getting in the ring with him, and knowing that I can trust that whatever I do, he's gonna be there, and everything he's gonna do, I know everything he's gonna do to me, we're gonna be fine. And just knowing that I've got that safety net of him there, that I can just slow things down.
No.
He's telling me the whole time, like, slow it down.
Yeah.
Take it down.
Also.
And having him there just relaxes me so much.
Yeah.
And I've been able to kind of take that mentality into other matches that I've had.
Mm.
Yeah. And just kind of take that learning that I've had and put it into all the matches I've had since then.
And, you know, from all of the experiences and all the goals that you have for yourself, what is the ultimate goal that you would like to get out as a professional wrestler? Is it to go to the WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan, All Elite and all those guys? Is it to just stay here and try to uplift the wrestling scene over here? What is your ultimate goal that you would like to get out as a professional wrestler?
I want to make it. I want to go overseas. I want to try to do something. Try to make some money.
Fair enough.
No, the plan is at some point in the next couple of years to try and head to somewhere like the States or the UK. I know people that know people, and hopefully I can piggyback on there. Piggyback on the people that have connections.
Right.
And try to make a name for myself. And then getting a platform for myself, then I can put that spotlight back onto New Zealand wrestling. I don't want to leave and then just never talk about New Zealand wrestling again. Right. Because this scene's given me so much. And not even just as a performer, as a wrestler, but as a person. I've grown so much over the last 2 years, and I'm in a much better place mentally, physically, obviously. Mentally, physically, and just in my life, I've got this amazing community, this amazing group of people that are all around me. We're all supporting each other, no matter what's going on. And that's something that I'm never going to be able to give enough back to wrestling for. Right. And so no matter what happens in my career, I could be signed by the WWE in 10 years. Who knows? You heard it here first. But I'm always going to want to put that spotlight back onto New Zealand wrestling because it's given me so much, even over such a short period of time.
And what are your thoughts on the New Zealand wrestling scene now that there's got a lot more eyes on it? Because we've got Dakota Kai in the WWE, you've got Travis Banks, you've got B. Priestley who just signed.
AEW, yeah.
Yeah. And
You've got guys like TK Cooper and Niwa,
yeah,
who are over there in progress
yeah,
with Travis Banks.
Exactly. You guys
Done
got
great things.
we've got top talents that used to be considered top talents here have gone out and become stars in other
Superstars.
places.
Huge.
Just by putting the work in and the time and effort in for it. What is your thoughts now that the New Zealand scene is getting a lot more eyes on it? Do you think there's a lot more pressure on wrestlers to be like, I need to step up my game?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think you can hit a plateau, you can hit a ceiling,
Mm.
and then you can be comfortable just to sit there. I think there's a lot of people in New Zealand who can get to a certain point and just kind of sit there, be comfortable.
Right.
But I think guys like a Charlie Roberts,
Mm.
guys like a Liam Fury, like a Jacob Cross, those top talents, those Will Power, J.K. Moody, Kane Khan, those top guys, they're the ones that continually put the work in. They're the ones that are going to break through that ceiling and bring more eyes onto New Zealand wrestling. Because if everyone's at this level, then no one's at that level, right?
Right.
You got to have those people that are going to be that cut above,
Yeah.
that are going to bring more eyes on.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely pressure on everyone else to step it up and just raise the bar consistently for everyone.
Do you have any advice for anybody watching, for younger talent coming up, who obviously look up to you because you may not know it? There will be
Speaking of pressure.
Speaking, you'll have younger guys who are just starting out looking up to you. You won't notice it, but they would appreciate any advice that you can give and any thoughts that you can give on improving.
Be humble. It's in the song.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
Just stay humble. Be respectful. If someone's been around longer than you, then they probably know a little bit more than you. And maybe if they don't know more than you, they'll definitely know different things. Sit under as many learning trees as you can. Soak in as much knowledge as you possibly can. Work hard, whether that's going to the gym, going to wrestling training, putting in the time, doing promos in the shower. Everyone's done that, right?
Everybody's done
Sit
that.
and you got the thing going.
Yeah, you got it.
Put in the work in any way that you can. And it's not just putting the work in outside the ring or in the ring, it's on show days. It's helping to set the ring up, it's helping to pack the ring down, it's promoting the show, it's doing everything that you can to not only invest in yourself as a performer, but invest in your company and also invest in your scene. Because if you wrestle for IPW as a trainee and you say I'm never going to wrestle for any other company, that doesn't make you look good. You want to be trying to improve the scene. Because yes, if we can make IPW or SPW or Hughes Academy or Maniacs United or PWE or anyone bigger, then that's only going to help the rest of the country.
Right.
We're such a small scene that so many of our fans who go to a Hughes Academy show could go to an IPW show. And so many of the fans at an IPW show could go to a Hughes Academy show. The more eyes we have on every company in New Zealand, the more we work together to grow everyone, versus just focusing in on ourselves and what we're doing, the better that everyone's going to get, the more eyes we're going to get on our scene as a whole, and the better that everyone's going to get as a whole. Just work together, basically.
Yeah. What is next for Will Stone?
What is next for Will Stone?
Yes.
I got a busy couple of weeks. Busy couple of weeks coming up. I've got 16th, we've got Queenstown, 16th of March, it's going to be amazing.
Yes.
23rd of March, we've got IPW, March to War. 30th of March, we've got Hughes Academy. 6th of April, I've got PWE. After that, we've got Wellington Armageddon. Hughes Academy is doing a
Yeah, we're doing a show down there on
show
April
down there
13th. Yeah.
that weekend.
Yeah.
Is it the Apuni show?
Yes.
Hughes Academy's in Apuni in Wellington on the 14th,
13th.
13th
Yeah.
of April. We're in April now, right?
April, yeah.
13th of April, yep. Week later, Good Friday, I've got possibly CPW on the 19th.
Oof.
And then I think after that, there's Maniacs United show. It just keeps going.
Going and going.
That's what's next for me. Trying to, as I say, improve everyone.
Yep.
Improve myself, invest in myself, invest in the companies that give me these opportunities, and invest in the New Zealand scene as a whole.
Nice. Thank you very much for taking the time out to give us your thoughts, give us an insight on who you are.
Hope everyone still likes me.
Hopefully. Rob's okay. Thank you very much, and I will catch everybody on the next episode of Behind the Wrestler.
Thanks, guys. Kia ora.